Well, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Ms.B, Positively Ms.B, coming to you on a Tuesday at 1 p.m. I'm excited. I'm always excited. But this episode of Limited Resource Awareness, we're going to talk about something that's near and dear to Angela B. Brown's heart, and that's giving a praise report. But for right now, this is your first time joining me. I'm the CEO of Storm Talk 365 Radio, faith-based podcast network, where we help you to talk to the storms in your life. I'm also the CEO of Storm Radio 24/7, where we talk about arts, business, entertainment, and more. But every first Tuesday of the month, second Tuesday, of the month, Angela B. Brown, CEO of YESHUA'S House right here in Petersburg, comes to you with a word of encouragement, update on what's going on with YESHUA'S House, and much, much more. Welcome, Angela.
Well, thank you. I look forward to our Tuesdays together.
That's right. Once a month, we get together. We talk about quite a bit. In case you don't know what limited resources awareness is all about, Angela is the CEO of YESHUA'S House, which is a transitional home for women who are experiencing difficulty in their life. She also takes in children. She has 2 residential homes right there in the Petersburg, Virginia area. So again, I just want to tell you that except for the grace of God and one paycheck away, it could be you. So please consider donating to this and other places of shelter for women who have issues. So what are we going to talk about today, Angela?
Talking about gratitude and being teachable.
Gratitude. I know there's a reason why you chose that topic. What's going on?
Oh, I don't know. It's gratitude keeps coming up in our ministry because we know that gratitude opens hearts. You know, if a person is grateful, then that means their heart is open and they're teachable. But that's kind of what this subject is about today. But I did want to tell you, last month we talked about potential and purpose and passion and the connection there. And then we had that was like 3 days before our annual fundraiser, and you interviewed J.B. Bryan, who was our speaker. And J.B. was just the epitome of grateful. I taught J.B. when she was a junior in high school, saw her become president of the senior class, just a fantastic leader and a fantastic person. And here she is as 25 years in the ministry of financial, how would she put it? Financial enlargement, something like that, that because she is the CEO and the founder and the first Black female owner of a financial class, of a financial, how does she put this? Financial group, the J.B. Bryan Financial Group, okay? And just last year, she became our financial advisor and has already done well by us. So we applaud her and thank her. But I had no idea when she agreed to speak, and that was her gift to us, that she was going to remember, oh my.
You're okay.
That she was going to let us, tell us about, are you sure we're okay? Because I just had to decline a phone call because
you just flipped me over. You're sideways. Are you there, Angela? Well, it looks like Angela's having some technical difficulties, but what she was trying to do is give you an update on the fundraiser that they had. And J.B. Bryan, which, as she mentioned, is a Black female who has wowed the world. She's been on CNN. She's been on a lot of different platforms talking about finances. And if you're not aware of her presence on social media, please look her up, J.B. Bryan. She has a plethora of videos. She does a morning show on our local TV. She has a lot going on, but she prides herself in educating not just Blacks, but educating people on finances. One of the reasons why she did it was because she herself had experienced some things that was not pleasant, and she was determined to educate others to do the same. I have interviewed her, and I can give you the link to that interview. I really enjoyed it. We are from the same hometown, Petersburg, Virginia, and to give her the accolades that she's due, it was my honor to interview her. So Angela Brown, as she mentioned, is the CEO of YESHUA'S House, faith-based YESHUA'S House for transitional home for the women. When I said faith-based, it does not require that you believe one way or the other, but she lets you know that they do biblical principles when it comes to teaching others about financial security, because one of the main reasons why people go back or fail to leave abusive situations is sometimes finances, you know. I believe Angela's trying to join me back. And so what they do at YESHUA'S House, among other things, is to encourage you to learn how to be more responsible for your finances so you can be self-sufficient and not have to be dependent on someone who may or may not appreciate you, who may or may not treat you the way you deserve to be treated. Also, she has 2 different homes in Petersburg, one of which is in need of repair. And that was one of the reasons why she, on this benefit, was so excited to have J.B. Bryant be the keynote speaker. And J.B. Bryant, as always, did an outstanding job. And if you joined her in the beginning, she mentioned that they have a long-term relationship. She was J.B. Bryant's teacher, believe it or not. And that means that, you know, they have a personal relationship. And J.B. Bryant also is the financial advisor for Mr. and Mrs. Brown when it comes to YESHUA'S House and their personal finances. So what Angela wanted to talk about today was about being grateful. And one of the things that she, you know, appreciates is the fact that some of you are actually sowing seeds financially and otherwise into YESHUA'S House. I think she's back. Are you back, Angela?
Yes, I am. I'm sorry for that interruption.
Not a problem. I was just
Yeah,
telling
well,
them
thank you
about
for,
grateful.
yeah, yes, I heard the last of it. So anyway, JB talked about things that I had forgotten about. I mean, I remember her well, but I didn't know how, you don't know how what you do impacts somebody else. And she was so open with that. So we just thank her. She also gave us books for those who were actually in the event, who were actually there at the moment. And we'll be getting those out. So, you know, JB is a giver. And I believe that's why she's successful. And that's a part of what we want to talk about with being grateful and being teachable. That event netted us $2,445, which bought our next set of windows for house number 2. So we are grateful that we're that much further along in winterizing that house. Okay, so today, can you hear that? All I want to do is decline. Dismiss it. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, you know, grateful people are givers.
You know what? Excuse me, Angela.
What is going
Just
on?
ignore, yeah, just ignore the calls. Don't touch it anymore because every time you try to ignore a call, it switches your screen around. So, yeah, you just okay. You know, technology has a funny way of disappointing us right in the middle of something. But as you can see, her husband is trying to assist her. She does not is not aware that she can put our calls on silence or do not disturb. But that being said, congratulations, Angela, for having that amount of money donated through that fundraiser. She's very concerned about getting that second house upgraded. It is an older home. It's not in disrepair. It just needs to be upgraded. And so winterizing the windows and replacing the roof are on the top priority of the list, because when the residents come, they want to feel safe and secure and also have, you know, upgraded environment, an upgraded environment. So congratulations on being able to replace the windows. Also, the roof is in repair, so disrepair. So if you are willing to donate, look her up on social media, YESHUA'S House or Angela Brown. I believe that website is YESHUA'sHouse.org, not .com, but Either way, find Angela on social media, the CEO of Yeshua's House. And she was talking about the great reward she had at this event that allowed her to be able to replace some of the windows. So, Angela, if you and Mr. Brown could not just touch that phone anymore, I don't care if it rings, whatever it does,
Okay. Okay. So it doesn't bother you if it rings.
we
Okay.
can't
We
hear
were
it.
trying to dismiss. Wonderful.
We
Wonderful.
can hear it.
Okay. Okay. So, so yeah, you said what's behind my being on the subject of gratitude and being teachable today, and that's a part of it. I'm really grateful for JB. I'm grateful for all the people who donated through the site and otherwise. And you know, I recognize that grateful people are givers, and they they recognize the value of what was given to them, whatever that was. And so we want to give back to our community, and we have an event coming up on October 13th, which is uh, next Wednesday. Next Wednesday. It's called What the New Normal Looks Like in Quarantine 2.0. So as we go into this fall winter season, we have a social worker, licensed clinical social worker who's in mental health, and a wellness coach who's going to be on the panel, and they will be dealing with measures that we can take to be not only safe but healthy mentally and physically and emotionally through these fall and winter months. You know, when we have less daylight, it's easier to be depressed, right? So we feel like this is necessary, and that's going to be on October 13th from 6 to 7. Um, you can access that on our Facebook, Yeshua's House Facebook, and on Yeshua's House website. That's yeshuashouse.net for the website. Okay, I hope to see everybody there. Okay, we're back to gratitude, right? Gratitude comes from a Latin root, and it's the word that we get our word gratis from, and gratuity. So, you know, if you're grateful to your server, you give them a tip. If you're really grateful, you give them a big tip, right? Well, I always like to go back to the Hebrew because I know from experience the Hebrew is the mother of all languages. There's no other language that communicates so many things in one word as Hebrew. And because each letter is also a symbol. And if you break Todah, Hebrew Todah means thank you, means thanks, thanksgiving, and gratitude. And the first letter is the letter for relationship. The second letter is for connected, right? And the third is pathway. And the fourth is revelation.
All right.
So gratitude, it reveals things to you, right? It opens your eyes to things, and you wouldn't see them without. Your eyes would literally be closed. You'd be blind to what a person or an event or whatever has done for you. So I love the Hebrew language, Todah. So you can just say Todah to me, and I just be happy, right? That one word. But Todah, Todah to you, because you know what? This is our 1 year anniversary. We started in October last year.
I didn't even I'm going to have to do something special. Thank you. Happy
After the
anniversary.
September event. Thank you. I'm having a happy anniversary with you. So then I was thinking about the 5 love languages. Remember that great book by Gary Chapman?
Yes,
It,
I have.
mm-hmm. You have it. Yeah, it's wonderful. And you know, he says, you know, not everybody shows love in the same way. Some show it by their words, and some by their actions, and some by gifts, and some by giving quality time, and some by physical touch. And you can say that each of those is a gift, really. Yeah, a word of affirmation is a gift, right? But the one who gives gifts is probably the one who is most likely to be grateful for a gift, right? And so they will always give the thank you note, always give you a phone call, always display it or wear it or whatever, because that's just their heart. the giver is one who is grateful. And my sister just passed August 20th, and she was a giver. She was 3.5 years older than me. She's the one who took the time to record my mother's memoirs on the on a recording and then transcribe them. It was a lot of time, but she did that, and that was her gift to Mom and to me and to all those who read it. And so with her passing, I saw, that she wrote down when people gave her something. She wrote when they gave it to her and what the occasion was. Kept their thank you notes. Kept their gifts in binders. I'm talking about organized here, So she's like the most giving person that in my life. And one of the things that a giver will do is they are able to stay emotionally stable. I'll put it that way. They're able to because they look at the positive. They're always thinking about either what somebody has done for them or what they can do for somebody else. If you tell a giver that your favorite color is blue, when she looks at blue, she finds you. She sees you, and she wants to give you something blue. So I'm suggesting that to, golly, where am I here? Because, if we look at around our homes, we're going to see something that our father gave us or whatever. I'm looking at my dad's carvings, an orchid that the YESHUA'S House board gave me upon the death of my sister, a hand-painted sympathy card. The ladies of the house, one of my dearest possessions is a lady who has kept up with us through the years, but she gave us a music box that plays Born Free. And the two elephants in it, and Born Free and Beauty Surrounds You. And I'm remembering that YESHUA talked a lot about gratitude. We'll kind of get to that a little later, I guess. But when I looked up gratitude and what it does for you, it says it shields you from negativity. It rewires your brain. It heals. It improves sleep. It boosts your self-esteem and performance. It enhances the law of attraction. So you attract positive people. And it improves your relationships, of course. So G.K. Chesterton said, gratitude is thankfulness doubled by wonder. Kind of that, really? And Douglas Wood, I don't know who he is, but he said, we cannot feel thankful and unhappy at the same time. So I thought this is a word for the season we're going into, with the decreasing sunlight, with the unknowns of the election and all the negativity in the press. We need to focus on gratitude. And so I'm encouraging you to express your gratitude. Notice things that you can be grateful for and express your gratitude. And one of the things you can do around whatever common meals you have is open the dinner conversation with what went well today. What went well? If we leave it, if we don't ask that kind of question, we may not have any talk, or we may have negative talk, right? But what went well today opens the day, opens that conversation for a time of gratitude. And one of my favorite things I found online was something called a gratitude visit, where you write a letter to somebody that you are grateful for what they've done, and then you visit them and you relate how you are grateful for them or what they've done for you. And then you read the letter to them and you leave it when you leave. Wouldn't that be powerful to
Wow.
both sender and receiver?
I love
There,
the fact that you're talking about gratitude. Um, I also would like for you to tie it into YESHUA'S house, and
right.
if you can.
I can, definitely. So when you write about a traumatic event, then you begin to see there's an emotional processing that goes on, and you begin to see how you got out of that situation. And that turns your mind. Remember, gratitude rewires your brain. It turns your brain, and you begin to shift from the negative to the positive concerning that traumatic experience. It can actually change the way you remember events and create positive memories. Instead of seeing, let's say, uh, the wrong you were done, you can see the people who helped pull you out of it. You can see people who stood by you. You can see God's intervention at a certain moment, which was critical, right? And then that realization, of course, binds you to those who have supported you. God Himself being one of them, who brought you out of this. So, anytime you experience an event, we've had a couple accidents lately with people whom we love, and they were traumatic accidents. You know, things going through your mind, thinking you were going to die. But this is something that I would want to share with them so that they can move away from just how horrible it was to who got you out of a situation which could have taken your life.
You know, as some people say, except for the grace of God, go I.
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
I've been through some things, and I have a message that I'm going to focus on shortly, and I've already done a message on it on my At the Table with Ms.B, and it's
Okay.
called Experience to Expose. Experience to Expose. And what you've done is talked about the experiences we've had in our lifetime, and it either exposes you or the meaning of the situation or the people in your life. Every experience exposes something. And what you're
It does.
encouraging people to do is to let their experiences expose their gratefulness.
Absolutely.
And the experience that you had with all of your fundraisers, with this last one with JB, because she's a dear friend of yours, that experience exposed that she was grateful to be able to do it for you. It
Yes, she was.
exposed the people who was grateful for what you've done in the neighborhood to share and donate. I believe experience to expose is a very important part of what you do for other people. Their experiences not only expose them to the potential that they have based on what you teach them, show them, expose them to, but their experiences expose them to the strengths that they never knew they had. It exposes them to the financial opportunities that they themselves really can control. So I believe an experience at YESHUA'S house exposes the blessings that's waiting ahead of them.
Well, that's why we call it Yeshua's house, because we
Ab-
know that He is the key to their healing, and it's He who they need to be grateful for. Right.
Absolutely.
Wanted to share something with you from my mother's book. Um, this is an event that happened. Here's my mother's book. Um, Something that happened a few years before I was born. There was a tornado. We have tornadoes in Indiana, and that's um, what happened. There was a tornado, and we had a chicken house, and all these chickens, they were white chickens, um, my family saw the chicken house raise up, go over the clothesline, over the fence that the neighbors had, and they just, it landed there. Okay, next couple days, they, my brother, who was about 12 at the time, looked at a train that was a track not too far behind the house, and he said, "Why is the train polka dot? There's white dots all over it." So they went to see it, and it was the chickens. The chickens had were plastered all over the black train. And a few days later, my mother heard something in the called it was be a furnace. Like I said, I wasn't alive at the time. To be a furnace with a flue or a spout or something that is open, sort of like a dryer vent, but it was a flue and a lot of coal dust in it. And she heard all this noise, and she went in there and found a chicken. A chicken. And she pulled the chicken out, and she gave it a bath because it was full of soot, and called the chicken Henny. And Henny was so grateful that she followed my mother. When my mom came out of the house, she would run from wherever the chickens were and follow her. When she would hang clothes on the clothesline, she'd go back and forth with her. And Henny never laid eggs again because she had undergone a traumatic experience. And she was never cooked. Her gratitude earned her favor.
Aww.
So she lived a life unlike any of the other chickens. But she had a close relationship with one whom she saw as her savior. Right?
Aww.
So this story's come down through our home. And you've heard before me talk about my mother being a lover of all life, including animal life. So why did I include being teachable with gratitude? You got any thoughts on that? I love your experience to expose. That was it, right?
Thank you. Yes,
Experience to expose. Yeah. So what would you say the relationship between gratitude and being teachable is?
Well, for me, you've already talked about gratitude, but gratitude also allows you to be teachable. What does that mean? You're thankful for the opportunity to be able to have someone share knowledge with you. You don't consider yourself the know-it-all to end all. You allow yourself to be grateful for everything that you're exposed to. And this is another thing that I say. Information is information. It becomes knowledge when you apply it. And so when you allow information to become knowledge, then you're allowing yourself to be teachable by just information. That's my take on that.
Yeah. Yeah, that is good. And the opposite of a teachable spirit is what you said, a know-it-all. You can't tell me anything. So if you're teachable, you're open to instruction. And I love this one. You're willing to learn and unlearn. Because some of us have learned some things that we need to unlearn.
That unlearning thing, y'all, let me tell you.
It's a lifetime. It's a lifetime endeavor to unlearn what is not functional, not effective in your life. So you're willing to learn and to unlearn and to relearn. So that opens up everything we talked about last month, which was your potential.
Potential.
Right?
Absolutely.
So grateful people are teachable people, and you love being around them. Jesus was asked by his disciples, who is the greatest in the kingdom of God? And he pointed to a child, didn't he? So he said, you become like little children.
Yes.
And humble yourself, right? So a child is humble, he's teachable, He's curious. He's accepting of all sorts of different people teaching him. Most children are content. They're not grasping, and they kind of live in the moment, and whatever that moment is, they're grateful for it. Children are loving and they're generous. Today in the news, we subscribe to, well, I'm not sure what the subscription, but we look at Israel 365. And I don't know whether you're aware of it, because the regular news doesn't carry things like this. But they did carry the fact that there was an accord, the Abraham Accord, with the United Arab Emirates and another nation, I've forgotten the name of it, Bahrain and Israel. And it was the first accord with two Arab nations and Israel since all the time we've been trying to get peace in the Middle East. Well, today on the Israel 365 news, discovered that in the capital of United Arab Emirates, which is Dubai, one of the richest cities in the world. United Arab Emirates is one of the richest, and certainly the richest, I believe, of all the Arab nations. They allowed a sukkah, which is a Jewish kind of a hut, a three-sided hut, which at this time of year, for 7 days, Scripture says that every Hebrew is to build a sukkah and live in it or eat in it or sleep in it, however much they can, for these 7 days as a reminder of what they went through in the wilderness. They were exposed to all these dangers in the wilderness, but God kept them. Shoes didn't wear out. Clothes didn't wear out. Wild animals didn't attack them. Had pillar of fire by night, and a cloud by day, right? So he instructed them to do this as a memorial. And of course, what it would do for them is every generation would be grateful for the experience, right? And it would build faith in them that God could take them through whatever they are exposed to, right? Experience to expose. And the roof of the sukkah, because it's only three-sided, so it's totally open on one side, has boughs of trees on it. So it's open to the sky, and you can see from whence cometh your help. So anyway, the United Arab Emirates, and particularly the city of Dubai, coordinated the building of a sukkah in Dubai at the base of the largest skyscraper in the city. It's been called the Tower of Babel. And so there were pictures of it. I mean, it can seat 6 people. There's 3 tables in it. It's decorated. And they did this in conjunction with the rabbi of Dubai. And the rabbi said that the United Arab Emirates is a place of tolerance, and we have always been well respected here. And then he said, we pray for the success and the health of the Sultan of Dubai. And I thought, what a perfect example of reciprocation. We're grateful, so we're going to give back. We're going to pray for the success and the health of the Sultan of Dubai, of Sultan of United Arab Emirates. So here are 2 supposed enemies, as the world thought, who are grateful for what each of them brings. Any thoughts on that?
And again, I bring it back to the experiences of YESHUA'S house. Experience to expose. This takes some strong faith. Now you have two different leaders respecting each other, two
Mm-hmm.
different countries respecting each other.
Right.
They didn't have to agree, but they respect each other. You know, when you talk about being grateful and teachable, when it comes to domestic violence or any type of situation that potentially cause you harm or any manner of danger or a sense of lack, it's hard to appreciate that experience. Nobody deserves that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Right.
when you put faith in it, nothing catches Jehovah God our Father by surprise. First off,
Right.
a lot of times we create our own situations and circumstances, and the consequences then are left to us to deal with. But the third thing is, once it happens, it's not what happens to you or who does it, it's how you respond to it. Those
Yes.
those people responded gratefully, and they were teachable. We as humans, regardless of the situations and circumstances, can we find it in our faith to be grateful for everything that the Father has brought us through, and then
Mm-hmm.
allow ourselves to call it a teachable moment, not to repeat the same habits? Are we able to learn from our mistakes or our choices? Not everything is a mistake, it's a choice. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
choices are deliberately made, and then they create consequences that are not always pleasant. So, for your topic today, being grateful and teachable, can we come out of an unpleasant situation and still feel grateful and allow ourselves to learn a lesson from it? That's what I got from what you said.
Right. Because we're told there's going to be trials and tribulations. So we trust him for the outcome, and he tells us what that's going to be too. Because uh, how does it go? That all things work toward good for those who love the Lord and are called according to His purpose. So that gets us back to purpose. There's got to be there's got to be a sense of purpose in a person's life, and you need to find that purpose in who you were from the beginning, because we are unique from our birth. And you can ask any parent how unique that child is, and they know this is like no other baby in the world, right? And we don't change. We're still like no other person in the world, but we need to embrace that uniqueness that we have, and see that there's purpose. I love the quote that your significance lies in your difference. So sometimes we try to shave off all the differences and conform, but then you're insignificant. You need to allow yourself to be different and know that that is significant, and people remember you for your differences. Well, it's been wonderful sharing with you. Let me show you JB's book, Afroeconomics: Our Black Wealth Matters. This is what she gave to each of the people who tuned into the broadcast on September 17th. And I just want to wish you well wherever you are right now, JB, doing your ministry of financial recovery in the African American community, particularly. Particularly. And she sings the same song we sing and the same song you sing, which is responsibility. And if you break it apart, it's the ability to respond. Never give
Absolutely.
up your ability to respond. And what's always in my court is my ability to respond, and I can respond in such a way that this becomes to my for my good, to my credit.
Absolutely. I've been smiling the whole time. Well, maybe not the whole time, but I've been smiling. I've been thinking and I've been reflecting. You know, I love the way we have teachable moments on these Tuesdays. teachable moments. It's not just information, and you just learn. And I love it when you did Maslow's hierarchy. That was just like wow. But that being said, as we come to a close, I really appreciate all the information you shared. But I want to just say again, when she says being teachable, we're responsible for our behavior, not the behavior of others. And the only way you can learn anything is to allow the information that you're exposed to become a lesson. That's the only way. And once it become a lesson, you have to understand that you're still responsible for your behavior, not anybody else's. So when it comes to, again, domestic violence or anything that brings potential harm or untoward results, let it be a teachable moment. Let your faith take control and say, you know what? As the word was saying, put my big girl underwear on, my big boy boots on, and keep it moving. One of the things that I
Right.
say to myself is, Kim is my best friend. I keep it moving. I go, well, okay, now what? And that takes courage and it takes responsibility. Never give up your ability to respond. Never let a situation or circumstance control you. You control it. There's something to be thankful for in every situation. Jesus didn't feel like being crucified, but he did it. You may not
Right.
feel like forgiving, but should you? You may not feel like doing a lot of things emotionally, but again, in order to have a teachable moment, it takes gratefulness and gratitude for the experience. But that being said, everybody, you've just heard from Angela B. Brown, CEO of YESHUA'S House, transitional home for women in Petersburg, Virginia. She's excited about the last fundraiser, which gave her the ability to potentially replace some of the windows in her not first but second home. She has two homes available for residential servicing for those who need some additional help in leaving negative situations. So,
Right.
JB Bryant, we are so, so proud of you. We love you. We appreciate you, all
Absolutely.
that you're doing, not necessarily just for the Black female Afrocentric community, but you are global and other
Yes.
nationalities are paying attention to you as well. So we again congratulate you. And I thank you personally for all the efforts that you put forth to helping that event to be as prosperous as it was. So Angela, again, I thank you. I look forward to talking to you next Tuesday of next month. I mean, the second Tuesday of next month. I need to get you on twice a month because I keep messing that up. But that being said, everybody, we thank you. We apologize for the technical difficulties and the lateness.
I definitely do.
Well, it was my fault that she was late. But that being said, we're going to come back to you next month with a different topic. You can find us right here on Storm Talk 365 Radio Facebook page or at www.stormtalk365radio.com, where Angela's podcast videos are turned into a podcast. We're on iHeart, iTunes, and many, many more. All right, Angela, thank you so much.
Hey, thank you, dear. God bless.
God
Appreciate
bless
you.
you. All right, bye bye.